Characterization, the basics of character. But first, let's review point of view. First-person point of view is when the narrator is a character in the story. You can tell because of the use of first-person pronouns such as I and me, and the character is usually describing themselves. Third-person narrator is when the narrator is not a character in the story. It can be limited or omniscient. Main characters or protagonists are the most important characters in who the story is about. Minor characters are less important characters. Motivation is the reason behind the character's actions. Traits or qualities the character has, such as bravery or sloppiness. And methods of characterization is the process of bringing characters to life. There are 4 different types of characterization. The first is physical appearance, where the narrator's description can tell you about what a character looks like. Here's an example. The woman put her sad moon face in the window of the car. "You be good," she said, "you hear me? You little ones, mind what Dicey tells you, you hear?" "Yes, Mama," they say. "That's all right then." She slung her purse over her shoulder and walked away, her stride made uneven by broken sandal thongs, thin elbows showing through holes in her oversized sweater. The next type of characterization is thoughts, speech, and actions, where a character's words and actions can reveal their personality. Here's an example. "I stared at the umbrella. I wanted to open it, twirl it around by its slender silver handle. I wanted to dangle it from my wrist on the way to school the way the other girls did. I wondered what Miss Crossman would say if I offered to bring it to Eugenie at school tomorrow. She would be impressed by my consideration of others. Eugenie would be pleased to have it back, and I would have possession of the umbrella for an entire night." The third method of characterization is other characters. Other characters' reactions to characters can serve as clues. For example, "I hurried to the rear of the building, turned to the right, and slid into a third-row bench occupied by Gracie Pearson and Alma Scott." "You can't sit here," objected Gracie. "I'm saving it for Mary Lou." I glanced back at Mary Lou Welliver depositing her lunch pail on the shelf in the back of the room and said, "Not anymore, you ain't." The final method are the narrator's comments. Sometimes the narrator tells you directly about a character. Here's an example. "He was 18, and one newspaper article about him said that he could be in the major leagues by the time he was 19. That's how good he was. Naturally, the baseball coach loved him. That was the thing about Mack. The people who liked him usually liked him because he was a star. Mack had an attitude problem." Remember, characterization brings characters to life and usually happens in one of 4 ways. Physical description, thoughts and feelings of the protagonist, other characters' reactions, or the narrator's direct statements.
Created using Powtoon.